So this is a special edition video, what to do when you have no money. So when you need some money, this is what you need to do, especially right now. We're at an all-time high in lack of jobs, unemployment spiked out of nowhere. A lot of people don't have any money right now. So I'm making this video because I've seen and been asked a lot of questions here about what to do. This is exactly what I did when I had no money. And it helped me create financial independence by the time I was 28 years old. These are 6 easy steps for you to follow. And when you follow them, I promise, looking back 12 months later, your financial life will change. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. And here's what to do when you have no money. Here's what to do if you want to change your financial life and bring more freedom into your life. So make sure you hit the like button on the side right over there. This is the most important time in the world for people to get a grasp financially, because right now we're gonna have the elites print all this money, kill our currency in the future, and if people aren't prepared, this is how people become enslaved by a society that is built and perpetuated off us not understanding how to attract more money into our lives. So I'm gonna give you 6 easy steps to follow. So when you have no money, do this. Hit the like button right over there. The reason is because this sends it out into the YouTube universe so more people see it. This is very important that as many people see this video as possible. So hit the like button right over there and comment down below, money comes to me now. Comment down below, money comes to me now. Let's dive right into this video. Okay, so the first step is to realize that this stuff right here, all of this, this stuff right here is not the important thing. What are you talking about, Jake? I'm saying this is not the important thing. The important thing is to solve a problem. And what happens is when you get really desperate, or you really just want more money, you often put the importance on this dollar or this dollar or this dollar or this dollar. This comes to you when you serve a purpose, when you serve a specific problem, whatever it is, whether it's that you grow food, whether it's that you help the elderly, whether it's that you write fantastic fiction books, whether you're an incredible videographer or you help with weddings, it doesn't matter what it is. But the important thing to understand is money is reward for service rendered. And the most important thing to do is to realign your intentions and your focus on serving people the best you possibly can with whatever it is that you are doing. And if you put too much of an importance on money in and of itself, all you're gonna do is be running around in circles, hoping, praying that money will just come and show up in your life. But instead, when you go, okay, what problem can I solve? And you invest your mind, your soul, your body, your spirit into that, that's how you ultimately bring cash flow back into your life. So what's important to understand is that you are in 2 income streams or 2 businesses. One is I need some cash right now, and the other is how do I want the money to come into my life in the future? And the important thing to do is to be strategically preparing for the future. Because right now, our news media, the unemployment numbers, all of this is telling us we're in doom and gloom scenarios. What's important to understand is every single time in human history, going back to the Great Depression, that doom and gloom situations have occurred, there have always been incredible financial opportunities in it and on the other side of it. In fact, some of the wealthiest families in the world came about so during and after the Great Depression. So you need to understand and go, okay, right now I just need my cash flow to come in, whatever it takes, whatever I got to do, and we're going to discuss how to do that more later. But get your mind off of this stuff for your long-term picture and focus on what is the income stream or business of my future that I can provide value to, and understand, regardless of what unemployment numbers say, your bank account tells you, the media tells you that we're gonna head into the apocalypse. The reality is, on the other side of crisis, every time in human history, there have been people that have focused on solving certain problems or providing certain values, and they've ended up creating incredible wealth right after financial crisis. So this is your opportunity. Whether it's that you're a health coach, whether it's that you have this great opportunity to build a grocery store. You start to see how valuable grocery stores are now when there's so much stuff happening where people can't get to the stores. Whatever it is, whether it's that you are a certified financial planner and you have a unique way of looking at the world, these things are important. And when the dust settles, that's going to be your opportunity. So what you have to do right now is close your eyes, is imagine how things are going to unfold. You have to sit down and you have to start coming up with a plan, with a strategy for how you're going to insert your dream cash flow scenarios in the future. What skills you need to do? What can you work on right now while you're stuck at your house? How can you prepare yourself to take advantage of, historically, the best time in human history, which is always during and after a crisis, when there's a great opportunity to serve a need and thus greatly increase your cash flow. Okay, point number 2 is to brainwash yourself before the world hypnotizes you for fear, scarcity, and poverty. This is the perfect example of everything that I teach on this channel. You have to condition your mind for what you want, or else, because you have mirror neurons are these part of your brains that respond to your environment. And you start to have your brain operating on the level that your environment is resonating at. Well, right now, there's incredibly high unemployment numbers. There's a lot of people losing a lot of money every day. The most common question is, oh my gosh, how do I get more money? And that's why I'm making this video. But what happens is, if you aren't deliberately taking the time right now to condition yourself for prosperity and success, you're going to be overcome by the outside environment. So this is why I created the second mind. I literally invented a software, a technology, a machine, a system to literally rewire and reprogram your brain for prosperity and success. Because if you don't do this, your environment is going to take hold of you and start to control you and manipulate you and start to get you to think small and start to think that just because there might be a little economic problem right now, it's going to be like that for the rest of eternity and you're screwed. Your mind will do that to you. None of that is true. You have to actually brainwash yourself before the world hypnotizes you for poverty. So right there down below is a free demo to the second mind. I literally created this to do it for you. You can do it right now. Go to thesecondmind.com. It's pinned to the comments. And you can use a free demo to start to turn your brain. It's almost like recoding a computer, and you can recode a computer to work better. You can recode your brain to take your mind back from society and start conditioning yourself and training your neural connections to start to produce prosperous opportunities into your life. It's right there down below. It's thesecondmind.com. It's pinned to the comments, and there's a free demo right there down below. Like I say, brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. Comment that down below. Brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. It's right there down below. I love that saying, and it's so important now. Like, you can really see how this stuff matters. So comment down below, brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. And make sure that you demo the second mind right now. It's thesecondmind.com right there down below. The third thing is to realize that everything is energy. This is just energy. In fact, this is actually 99% empty space. Not only is it just energy, it's 99% empty space. And energy is always moving. energy is always in motion. So energy is never created or destroyed, it's simply transferred to different states. The overarching collective consciousness right now has transformed into an energy that, for most people, is really constricted. What you have to understand is that this too will pass. You can't take your present circumstances and thus believe that's how it's going to be for forever. If you do, you're going to paralyze your own nervous system in fear. And it's just simply not true. When you remember that everything is energy and consciousness creates reality, you can start to recreate energy in your life. You can start to pull the right ideas for the perfect $1 million business that's going to be so important in the future. You can pull the perfect people to help get your services out into the world. You can attract the perfect people that need exactly what you can offer to them. But you have to understand that everything is energy, and energy's always moving. So if you can start shifting your energy by shifting your thoughts, by shifting your emotions, by shifting your perception right now, you can start to shift the energy that's coming back into your life. And when you remember, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. You can pull your mind out of any present financial limitations and understand that everything is energy. Energy is never created or destroyed, and it's always in motion. So any type of crisis or bad situation, this too shall pass. Remember, right in this moment, you are starting to build the energy for what you're going to attract 6 months from now, 3 months from now, 12 months from now. So start preparing yourself for a life that has new opportunities of prosperity. So comment down below, this too shall pass. Comment down below, this too shall pass. And anyone that you know that's really down right now, remind them, this too shall pass. Number 4 is to eliminate debts. I never had even a credit card until about 6 or 9 months ago, and I got it because I flew so much between Hawaii and California. I was like, I might as well get some free first class flights from it. The reality is, think about everything as energy. You would never carry energy debts in your life in other areas. This is the time to get out of debt. This is the time to get out of debt. This is the time to start to actually sit down and look at, how much debt do I have? Well, how long is it going to take me to pay it off? And put a plan together to get yourself out of debt. This is important for a lot of reasons. One, on a purely metaphysical level, what's happening when you're carrying too much debt? You're literally carrying around weights with you. You're carrying around anchors with you that are chaining you down into the limitations of this present reality. So when you can lift that, a lot of things happen subconsciously. You start to see yourself as someone that has more prosperity. Why? Because all of a sudden you're not in debt anymore. A lot of times when people are in a lot of debt, they believe they're going to have it for the rest of their life. And if you have an operating system that says, I will always have no money, what happens is you continue to recreate that situation for yourself, and you create a self-image whereby you look at yourself as someone who cannot accumulate money. Debt is the exact thing that drills your self-image into believing you are someone that cannot accumulate money. Prove it to yourself that you can do it by first getting out of debt. When you start to knock that snowball forward, when those dominoes start to fall in place, and you start to get out of debt, and you start to make progress on it, and you start to get clarity around your financial situation, if you knock it all out of the park, you start to go, I could do that. I could do anything. If I could do that, I could make money in this economic climate. If I could do that, what could I really accomplish? And it starts to open your horizons. So get out of debt and put a plan in place to do so. Number 5 is to grow your skills, your knowledge, and your mind any way that you can. So the way that's best is to actually look at, what is the business or income stream of my future where I can provide the most value to people, find purpose, and give myself the best prosperity and financial opportunities that I can. So you might say, well, I'm going to go into sales. Well, I'm going to become a coder. Well, I'm going to eventually become a nurse. I'm going to teach small businesses how to go online so that they can hedge against any type of economic climates or store shutdowns. I'm going to teach people how to create their own gardens so that they can save more money and have more sustainability. It doesn't matter what it is, right? But you have to start focusing on growing that knowledge base. The first thing that has to happen is you have to commit to the process. And if you commit to the process without worrying about the results, you start to get better at what you do. You start to succeed more, even if it's first only in skills. So that means if I'm quarantined, I should be reading one sales book every day if I'm trying to be a salesperson. It might mean, okay, I don't know what I want to do yet. Well, why don't I spend 3 hours a day studying to decide what businesses, jobs, or careers make the most sense in the future? Okay, well, I've got all this extra money and I need to learn investing. Okay, I should be spending 3 hours a day doing that. The first step for your bank account to change is you have to change. But what most people do is they become a victim to their financial circumstances and they say, I'll change once my bank account changes. But when you do that, you stay stuck in a holding pattern, constantly waiting for something outside of you to save you, but it never will. You are the savior to your own financial life. So what I invite you to do is to think for a moment. Maybe pull out a pen and pad or an iPhone or whatever and write out what are things you can do for you to grow. Are they certain books? Are they certain plans? Are they discussing certain things? The things we talked about. Put a couple of those down on paper and get going on those. You're going to feel an overwhelming sense of confidence. You're going to find a new level of optimism, and you're not going to worry about, okay, maybe we have a downturn for a few months, or maybe it's 6 months or even a year. But the reality is humanity always continues to evolve, expand, and grow. There will always be new financial opportunities for those who are prepared by growing themselves, their skills, and their knowledge. This is your time and your opportunity to do so. Next, diversify income sources or consider multiple sources of income. Now, this is something that might take a little bit of thought. There's a reason the richest people in the world all have multiple sources of income. It starts to make a lot more sense when you see a constriction in the economy, and some people are better off than others because they have 3 sources of income, or 2, or 10, or 1,000. And so this is the time right now to really focus on these types of strategic trajectories for where your financial life will be going in the future. Multiple sources of income means that you are divorced from directly trading your time for money, or you are instituting leverage from hiring other individuals or being a part of a software or system that allows you to do it. Now, this is very important when you consider the rest of your life. How can I develop multiple sources of income? So what I invite you to do is pull out a pen and pad, write at the top of the paper multiple sources of income. Come up with every idea you can think of. It might take you a minute, but then you come up with 7 ideas and then you find out 4 of them you think actually suck. 3 of them are pretty good. 1 of them is really good. That's the one to start focusing on, and you put 1 in the crosshairs, 1 at a time, 1 at a time. Thinking long term so that these income sources in 12 months from now or 18 months from now can be significant or even relatively significant and start to diversify your income. So if you're still with me, make sure you hit the like button on this video right over there on the side to send this out into the YouTube universe. I want to remind you, do your own research. What you're going to find out is during and after every major crisis, it's ended up being the greatest wealth transfer in human history because a lot of people allow the outside environment to literally paralyze their thinking and their ability to take action. It paralyzes their worldview and constricts it so small they think they're stuck forever like that. That's never the case. Even in situations where recessions have lasted for years, during the recession, there's always been incredible financial opportunities. What you have to say is, I am one of those people. I am the exception to every rule. I am the exception to every will. To every rule, I will prosper. I will attract amazing financial opportunities. I will be one of the people who make money during a recession. I will be one of the people who, even if I lose my job, it's just going to be because I'm going to come up with an idea that's even better and it's going to make me more money. You have to start to look at yourself as the exception to every rule. Do your own research. You will find that time and time again, there's always been, even in the quote unquote bad situations, there's always been fantastic opportunities. So comment down below, I am the exception to every rule. Comment down below, I am the exception to every rule. Make sure that you use the second mind right there down below to start to train your mind. This is so important. Like I always say, brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. Sounds like a cute saying, right? But in reality, it's so important right now because there's so much negative influence and there's so many people afraid that if you aren't careful, your brain will respond and react to that environment and it will match that frequency. Due to neuroplasticity, we know you can reprogram and rewire your brain. It's time to start setting yourself up for a more prosperous future. Right there down below is thesecondmind.com, and it's my free demo to start to train your mind for prosperity. It's pinned to the comments right there down below, so go ahead and use a free demo on that. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification right over there. The bell notification is what notifies you for new videos. Even if you're already subscribed, just double check. Have you actually hit the bell notification? It's right over there on the side. And have an absolutely great day. Check out The Second Mind right there down below, and I'll talk to you soon.